and check for ethylene oxide with nitrogen UN 1040. And you will see that, as you have stated. Did every one of us find it at the table? It's not allowed. Yeah. Because ethylene oxide is a very, very dangerous gas, and no gas leak is allowed in the portable tank. Are we okay? 36. Using the packing instruction, table IBC 520, you see the correlation between number of table and the class. What a wonderful connection, right? I have always found these things when I was learning about the IMDG code. It's such nicely correlated. Table 520 means the class 5.2, right? IMDG code volume 1, section 4142. What is the requirement as regards control temperature for tert-butyl peroxine octadecanoate, not more than 42% stable dispersion in water, UN 3119. This is a dangerous one. What is the control temperature that you find in the table? Can you tell me? Okay. Did everyone find? Captain could help you if you could not. First volume, section 4142, and table IBC 520. Did you find the gas? I mean UN 3119, not the gas. UN 3119. Did you find it? Yeah. How many? The control temperature, how much is it? The control temperature. Let's see. It's -5 in the table. Did you see that? If you need help, I will come. Did you find the table? Did you see it on the table? Did you put it on the table? Or 4-2 something? Yes. 4-1-4-2. Did you find -5? T-20, no. IBC 520. 4, yes. No. IBC 520. We shall go, okay? After packings, then we start with the IBCs. It should be enough here. Yeah, okay. What's the page? I will tell them the page. Find it. 226, find the table. And then we find the UN 3119. Did you find it over there? Did you find it? You will read that the control temperature is -5. Did you find it now? Page 207. Yeah, 26. 226. 226. I have to go home. Yes. You find the UN number 3119. What is the control tab? But lots of 3119, you see? You have to find the name, tert butyl, because there are different types of that, 3119. It's just for the sake of navigating in the IMDG code. You will find this one, this name, and you will see that control temperature is -5. Segregation table between bulk materials classified as dangerous goods and dangerous goods in packaged form. IMDG code volume 1, section 76352. It is the general cargo ships part. Let's please find section 76352. What are the segregation provisions between goods of classes 3 and 4.3? What was 4.3? Solids that emit gases, flammable gases, when in contact with water, right? 4.3 is that. And class 3 is flammable liquids. What is the segregation provision? Which one is it? Separated from, is that correct? Did you find all? Yes, it is correct. Thank you. Great. Using the dangerous goods list, DGN, IMDG code volume 2. What is the you will go to the dangerous goods list now, volume 2. What is the subsidiary hazards or hazards for osmium tetroxide UN 2471? Will you please?
Marine pollution.
Yes. It's P, marine pollutant. Where do we find the marine pollutant sign? Either on the subsidiary risk column 4, column 4 in dangerous goods list, or what is the second source? What is the index, alphabetical index. And sometimes the goods may be marine pollutant even when not stated in those two places. You will get enough information from the producer if needed. But basically, I thought you were saying it.
You can find it always, of course, on the DAY5, the SDS.
Yes.
With 14, where you have the transport information, and especially for NOS entries, it will not be in the IMSBC code. So then you have to get the information from the shipper on the DAY5 declaration,
yes,
or from SDS.
Because they have some lots of detailed tests, acute one, chronic one, subchronic one. That's you can see it, as Captain said, in the safety data sheet. 40. Using the dangerous goods list DGL IMDG code volume 2. What is the subsidiary hazard or hazards for octadiene UN 2309? Again, we go to the UN 2309. Column 4 is the subsidiary risk column. What did you find over there? None, as you said. No subsidiary hazards. 41. Using the dangerous goods list DGN, IMDG code volume 2, what is the EMS reference for zinc peroxide? UN 1516. EMS reference. Where do we find the EMS reference column?
FT.
Which column?
FT.
15, correct. What does it say over there?
Water
F-
liquid substance.
Yes. FGSQ. Are we okay? Are we on the same page? Okay? Any questions up till now? I'm going. Is this a good pace? Are we going fine? Thank you. 42. Using the special marking provisions for marine pollutants, IMDG Code, Volume 1, Section 5216. Marking provisions for marine pollutants. Have packages containing 3 liters inner packaging with marine pollutants to be marked with the marine pollutant mark. I will say something to you to remind you that Captain Ufelan said that he wasn't happy with that, and he was right. Because a full container filled with 3 liters of marine pollutants, can you imagine how much that would do? He was right. So, do they have to be marked? No. What is the limit? 5. The reference is IMDG Code 5 as given over, and also you can find it in Marine Pollutants section 210-7 in the classification. 43. Using the Dangerous Goods List DGL, IMDG Code Volume 2 and the Packing Instruction Volume 1 Section 4141. Is UN 2875 allowed to be packed in plastic jerrycans? And if so, what is the maximum net mass? What do we do first? Where do we go? Where do we go? Of course we go first to the dangerous goods list. This is our guide, you see? You go and find the UN number over there, and then where do you go? Which column? Column 8, to see the packing instructions, okay? Which is given in the packing instructions. You should go to, which one? P002, it's a solid. Then you go and find the plastic jerrycans as single packagings, and you see that. What is the PG? Did you check? You have to know the PG, packing group 3. Then you intersect packing group 3 with plastic jerrycans, and you see that it is allowed up to 120 kilograms. Are we okay? Any questions? Are we okay? Shall I proceed? Do you have any questions? P002 is for solids, should I remind you. So UN 2875 is a solid, dangerous substance. Okay. Have we got the reference? I am proceeding. 44. Using the Dangerous Goods List DGL, IMDG Code Volume 2, and the placarding and marking of cargo transport units, IMDG Code Volume 1, Section 5.3. 5.2, you know, is for packagings. 5.3 is for CTUs and cargo transport units. Mostly, of course, we are looking for the containers. How shall a container loaded with 10 tons of UN 1408 ferrosilicon to be placarded and marked? We have 10 tons. Okay? What does it remind you? You have to placard. Do we have UN number in here? Do we have to have a UN number on the container? Why? Because there is only one UN number, right? Only 1408, and it's over 4,000 kilograms, 10 ton. So we shall have UN number. And then, did you check for the hazard classes? What are they for UN 14.8? Class 4? What is that, can you? Okay. Shall we have a name on the container? No, right? As you say, there's no name. So, you see, UN number, we know that it's ferrosilicon, but we have two labels, placards I mean, on 4 sides, class 4.3, also a second subsidiary risk, subsidiary hazard is there for class 6.1, toxic. You can find the reference of display of UN number in 532112. 45. Using the dangerous goods list DGL, IMDG code volume 2, segregation table, IMDG code volume 1, section 724, and segregation groups, IMDG code volume 2, section 3144. Is UN 2347 butyl mercaptans, PG2, and UN 1784 hexyl trichlorosilane, PG2, allowed to be loaded in the same CTU? It means, can they be co-loaded? What do we have to know? We have to know their hazard classes, right? Then we shall go to the IMDG code dangerous goods list. What classes did you find for both? The first one, UN 2347, is class 3. The answer is here, check with this. It has segregation provision 35, 50, and 57. Okay? The second good is UN 1784. It's a class 8, no subsidiary risks. And it is segregation group 1. What was 1? Acids, right? And it has segregation provisions 36, 49. So, first we go to table 724. The intersection of class 3 and class 8 is X. You see? The segregation table, as Captain told us, doesn't tell us of any segregation. But what should we do? We should go to the column 16B to be sure if there's a special provision there. Because we always refer to column 16B. Even if there's nothing, even if there's X in the table 724, we should always check with column 16B. So we go to column 16B, and there are segregation provisions. What is it, for example? SG 35 for UN 2347 is stone separated from segregation group 1 acids. And you see, UN 1874, the second good, is an acid. So they have to be segregated. Did you note the answer and any questions? Yeah. We cannot co-load the two goods in the same CTU. Okay. the competent authority in your country? This is empty for you to answer. Maritime authority. Discuss. 47. To which transverse forces can a cargo on a flat rack be exposed during transport in sea area C? Was it the oceans? Remember? How high was the height of the waves? More than 12 meters. So, what should the acceleration be? The highest, right? The highest. It is C. I'm sorry. 08 times weight of cargo, CTU code chapter 553. You will find in your handouts the CTU code and the informative material all together complete, so that you will be able to refer to it in the near future. 48. For heavy items such as granite and marble blocks, it is better to use loudly. Yes, correct. At the back, some answers. Which one is correct? Which one is better? A, B, or C? A. Correct. Thank you. It's a flat rack. Reference CTU code, chapter 7. 49. If you want to eliminate the risk of sliding, you should bravo, increase the friction. Again, the reference is the CTU code. If you want to note it, it's here. Chapter 9 and chapter 5, we can, in the annex, we can find some references in different parts. 50. What is the maximum allowed cargo weight? You remember 40-60 rule? In the inner half of a 40-foot container loaded by 20 tons of cargo. Maximum is, bravo, 12 tons. Great. This is the answer. 12 tons. The rest will be on the other side, but you cannot exceed these values. No more, no more. This is the maximum allowed deviation. 12 to 8 tons. If you make it 13 to 7, there is great danger about the container. Yes, we have come to IMSBC code. Are we okay? Are we happy with the answers? Okay. Yeah, and I'm very happy with you with the answers. Great. Thank you so much. 1. Is the former BC code still valid to use? No. What do we have? IMSBC code now. Second question. Is the IMSBC code mandatory? Did Captain Ufelen talk about any non-mandatory parts in the IMSBC code? You remember, right? Then what is the answer? Yes, partly. Yeah, it is mentioned in the IMSBC code 142, if you want the reference, 142. Question 3. The IMSBC code covers the following dangerous goods classes. We discussed it already with the captain, and you said correct answers. 41, 42, 43, 51, 61, 7, 8, 9, and the materials hazardous only in bulk. Is that true or false? Very much true. Class 1. Class 1 explosives are very dangerous to just carry in bulk. 2 is gases, 3 is liquids. So we are left with 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 5-1 oxidizers. 5-2 is what? Which class? 5-2. Organic peroxides. It's also not allowed because dangerous. Bulk. 6.2, what was that? Infectious. Dangerous to be in bulk. 7, 8, 9, and MHB. Materials hazardous in bulk. The reference is IMSBC code 9.2. 4. Is it always required for a vessel to have a document of compliance, DOC, when carrying dangerous goods in solid bulk form? Yeah. Let's see. Yes, with exceptions. 5. What is the angle of repose for urea? What do we do to find this? Like in the IMDG code, we have to run for the index 1, right? To get the correct data for that specific bulk good, urea. Did we find the degrees in the index 1 for urea? Well, how much is that? Bravo. Bravo. 28 to 45 degrees. Reference IMSBC code, appendix 1. You will find with the alphabetical order, urea, and then read. Find the data. 6. Trimming a cargo reduces the likelihood of the cargo to shift. Is that correct? Sure. Yes, thank you. It's true. The reference is IMSBC code 511. 7. Is it allowed to load 2 cylinders of flammable gas, class 2-1, on top of ferrosilicon UN 1408 bulk cargo? What is this? How should we think of that? You see, there are 2 cylinders packaged and the bulk cargo. Where can we find such loadings? In which specific ship? It could only be where? In general cargo ships. Packages and bulk cargo together, right? So, we say no. In IMSBC Appendix 1 for ferrosilicon, we go to Appendix 1, we find the 1408. It is class 4.3. And we go to the segregation table, 9332. Okay? And we can see that it's not possible. Eight, for cargoes not mentioned in the IMSBC code, where to find the provisions for shipment? Not mentioned in the IMSBC code. No. Section 1.3, you have to apply for the good to get a permission, either a permanent one or a transitionary one. If it is accepted by the members, then perhaps it will be added to the Annex 1 goods. So the related information in 1.3. 9. There are 3 different groups of bulk cargoes. Remember, in the IMSBC code, Group A consists of cargoes which may liquefy. Correct or false? True or false? Group A. True. If shipped at a moisture content in excess of their transportable moisture limit, TML value. Is that correct? Goods of Group A might liquefy. It's a terrible thing. if transported in excess of the TML value. Is that correct? Answers from the back? That is the most significant thing about liquefaction. The TML value should not be, in general I'm talking, we had many details with Captain Ufelan. He told us you might get the moisture level, but it rains, what will happen? You cannot load into the ship, right? The moisture level will change. So, the goods to be loaded should be checked for moisture level and compared with the TML certificate. The TML should be 6 months in 6 months, and the actual measurement should be at most in a week before loading, but you should check. The moisture level should be below TML. So it is true, reference IMSBC code 723. 10. The master of a ship is offered to transport coke breeze. What is the size of the particles? The captain knows best. How can we go there? Shall we go to Appendix 1, dear friends, and find the coke breeze, right? Let's go and find the coke breeze. What is the size of the particles? You can read there. From the data table, you will find it. What do you see? Less than 5 or less than 10 or less than 15. Okay. Bravo. Less than 10. Reference IMSBC code Appendix 1. You will find the coke breeze and read from the data table. 11. Bonus question. The master of a ship is offered to transport coke breeze again. Upon measuring the particle size, the average size is 40 millimeters. May the cargo be accepted without special permission? May it be? It's already written there. If you need to transport it, you will need what? A special permission. Why? Why? Because what is the average size of the particles? What was it before? Less than 10. And now, what do we have here? 40 millimeters. So, you cannot. You have to maybe get, if it is allowed by the authorities, a special permission. You cannot, it cannot be accepted without a special permission. Okay. Appendix 1, you should go and see the data, and it is all for today. Thank you, and applause. Want you to be great applause.
Thank you, Ms. Janet. Thank you, Captain. We have a great 5-day workshop. Yes. Community exchange to share experience, and we get a better implementation of IMDG code and IMSBC code. So, ข้อสอบดูน่าจะง่ายไหมครับผมยังเปิดหนังสือยิกๆอยู่เลยแต่แบบมีเสียงตอบจากข้างหลังมาแบบดังมากเลยครับดูแบบพี่ทุกท่านดูตั้งใจดูแบบคอมเมนต์ดีมากเลยขอบคุณมากนะครับขอบคุณแทนเลคเชอร์จากไอโอด้วยแล้วก็ผู้จัดด้วยนะครับเห็นเราแบบมีส่วนร่วมนี้นี่คือแบบรู้สึกประสบความสำเร็จแล้วนะครับที่จัดเวิร์กช็อปครั้งนี้นะครับก็เดี๋ยวลำดับถัดไปนะครับก็ตอนนี้ท่านผู้อำนวยการสำนักความปลอดภัยสิ่งแวดล้อมกำลังเดินทางมานะครับก็ตอนนี้ก็เดี๋ยวอาจจะรอพักเบรกกันสักครู่หนึ่งก่อนนะครับระหว่างรอที่ขึ้นมานะครับแล้วก็เราจะเข้าสู่ช่วงที่เป็นพิธีปิดนะครับก็ตามสัญญานะครับเสร็จก่อนเที่ยงนะครับครับก็เดี๋ยวเรียนเชิญทุกท่านพักผ่อนตามอัธยาศัยก่อนนะครับเดี๋ยวผมเรียกอีกทีครับขอบคุณครับ